The number of COVID-19 cases in Illinois has now surpassed 30,000. The state's public health department reports nearly 1,200 new cases and 33 more lives lost. This comes as the debate over COVID-19 testing heats up in the country. President Trump and the nation's governors are at odds over whether the expansion of testing is the responsibility of the states or the federal government. CBS 2's Mike Puccinelli joins us now from the Loop. So, Mike, the numbers could even be worse here?
That's right, Jim, and that's because a potentially large number of cases weren't actually included in today's count.
As of today, we've tested 4.18 million Americans. That's a record anywhere in the world.
That's one of the first things the president had to say when he held his news conference today.
That's something, right? We're doing a great job.
But the doctor who headed up Will County's response to the Ebola crisis sees it quite differently. He views that as a success. What do you think?
No, it's a complete failure. There should have been 5 million people tested by the end of February.
Dr. Howard Ehrman says the administration failed when it, unlike the rest of the world, chose not to use the COVID-19 test that was offered by the World Health Organization. He says that cost the country time and allowed the virus to spread.
That was a fatal mistake for thousands and thousands of Americans who have died since then.
Vice President Pence says the country is testing 150,000 people a day, and he says that number could double once all the labs in the country are activated. The president touted the country's two largest commercial labs as models of testing efficiency.
These are massive laboratories that can handle a lot more than they're being sent.
Governor Pritzker says testing and testing capacity are very different, and that no state can test at full capacity due to a lack of resources. As for the commercial laboratories, he says today's COVID caseload announcement shows they're far from perfect.
We got no report from one of the largest commercial laboratories in the country. And so that's a number of tests that were obviously done and completed, but never reported to us because they didn't report it to anyone in the country. Why that is, I can't tell you.
Now, we should have a better sense of those numbers tomorrow if that commercial laboratory releases those numbers. That, as the total caseload in the United States for COVID-19 right now has surpassed 750,000, with the total number of deaths standing at above 40,000. Reporting live outside the Thompson Center, Mike Puccinelli, CBS 2 News. Jim?